Hello everyone, welcome. And we have a lovely surprise for you. Yes, it's more Napoleonic Wars, this time a Sunday evening line battle with the fine fellows from the Napoleonic War community. Fine fellows one and all. So, we're going to see what they're up to. Here you can see Colonel Sultanami from the RRR. Look at these fine fellows, don't they all look lovely? Brigitte and there's Private Hat. Rubbing my Tim, oh dear. Merclerk. Oh dear, rubbing my fangs. There's a lot of rubbing going on in this particular regiment. There's chromosomes and there's rubbing my swamp. So there's lots of rubbing going on there. But we'll have to see how that turns out. Now, let's see. Here is some cavalry from the APK. Now, you can see these guys looking for an opportunity. Oh, cannoneering occurring over here with other members of the APK. Hiliktor. Now you can tell that's a fine Polish name. Look at that, Captain Nausmons. With some fine engineering. Look at that. Excellent engineering work here from the man. Aggressive digging. Puts in those ramparts, and you can see the fire is starting already as the powers that be and the horses gallop around looking for an opportunity. Now you can see the lines moving out, and at the moment the RRR sort of moving towards the centre where you can see most of the smoke coming from. Astra has just taken a cannonball to the face. That's unfortunate considering it's been going 2 minutes in the map. And some more cannons coming in and taking down members of the GD, which is a tad unfortunate for the same reason. But it's quite an open map here, I have to say. Quite open areas. Oh dear, rubbing my Tim. He ain't going to be rubbing anything anymore, except that bruise on his head. Never mind. Look at the cannons coming in here from the RRA. And these guys hiding behind a rock, and I don't blame them 1 minute. Look at this. I don't blame them for a second hiding behind the rock after the devastation. See what I mean? See what I mean? Oh god, the poor RRR. Rubbing my fangs, trying to surrender, but these guys are getting absolutely butchered by the cannons. So it looks like Mako, following in behind his Colonel Sultanami, is trying to get away from that problem. See, look at this. There's 10 Raksas. Now, who's the commander here? Look at that. Blee from the 1stRhein. Look handsome, and all these fine fellows. There's Frau Killer. And there's the Snoop. There's Gabriel. So you can see these guys, they're all sort of making their way in the general direction of the enemy. Obviously, some are intercepting cannonballs on the way, some are, you know, catching a bullet every now and then. But here you can see the cannons, which seem to be doing a good job. These guys, Graaf van Verbergen. Oh my goodness, look at that. Obermai has just been taken down. They've got another Whiplash here from the RKR. Now they're doing defense of the cannons. Also in from the 1st Reddit as well. There's Glenn Miller. Oh goodness, the 1st Reddit are going in for the attack. Look at this, there's Savs. Fine stab coming in from Savs, look at this. And now he's going in to attack loads more. And he's going to get diddled. He's going to get diddled badly. That's exactly what happened, poor Sav. Or Save, I should say. And they've murdered the horse as well. Brutality. As in comes another line of Brits. The 1st Reddit reinforcements with in that line. And there's our old friend Oberst Raz from the 84th, now merged into part of the Swiss. Always wonderful to see the 84th on the battlefield. Although I'm sure these two guys might disagree with that point. However, it looks like the cannons, sadly the cannon forces have all been murdered horribly. Ah, the effective pistol. Milf and Cookies. What a fantastic name. From the 51st, there's King Rizzler as well. And Joji. Oh dear. Oh dear. King Rizzler isn't so king anymore. And you can see the two cannoneers literally aiming at each other. I think the puffs of smoke up there on the hill is where most of it's coming from, and you can see them forcing these these fellows to flee back as much as they can. Here's the RRR coming under a sustained attack from a group of Brits. As here's Pechenin, recruit of the 13th, about to be a corpse of the 13th. But he's defending himself against an onslaught of many British people and appears to be derping out at the same time, going in for that mad stab. Unfortunately, was unsuccessful. So we move over to see this group of British forces, the RGE, led by Commandant Joseri Garcia. Wow, quite the name. Let's get Jamie in there as well as Jerry, Alberto AM, and cannonballs everywhere. Oh, the cannonball goodness. Lovely to see. Down goes Barretta from the 1st BDC. And these guys relatively well spread out. And a bit of surgery coming in from Oliveira. Oh, nice plans. So, let's have a look at the difference in numbers. 42 versus 51 alive. So, it's still pretty good. Now, here's Brigadier Robin, followed up by Ace, and Sebas, and Saltier. Now, who's Tail End Charlie? Sergeant Major Bock, of course, the 1st Infantry Van Nassau. And you can see there, oh my goodness, Isaac with a fantastic kill onto the RGE, taking down, oh goodness me, look at that, at least 4 of their number. So fine cannonball work coming in from these boys. Always a pleasure to see. So, we shall follow Dennis from the 1st BDC. In fact, no, let's go ahead of him, find out what's going on up here. See what is occurring. Well, currently they seem to be running into an open field, but there is action going on. Let's see if we can find out what action is occurring. So here is Dante from the 1st Vistule. Now he's moving up to this hill, where there seems to be an awful lot of Austrians. Looks to be the skirmishers. Obviously they've got the rifles, so they're going to have the advantage of distance. We have to see how it turns out as Salty gets finished off in the field. Now, a few random horses. Maybe they're having a little horse meeting. Difficult to say. Oh, Sputnik is down. The Sputnik has landed. So now these guys are going to move out. Try and support this particular line here. The 1st Vistule. And there's Dante and those guys. Yep, there we go. So now they've decided to just go out there and get some supplies. Maybe a few more bits and pieces, stuff like that. And see what happens. Now, here's Soldat Emmy. And we shall go over the hill. Find out what these boys are up to up here. As there's 10 Frankie from the RGTRA. Taking some shots from the fellows up on the hill, and Milf and Cookies is down. Poor Milf is no more. The Milf is dead. And here, Didge, Marksman, and also in with other members of the RGE in the 51st Corporal Crash, and Morant. And they're doing a good job of firing back at the enemy. Now, you've also got these boys from the Infantry Van Nassau moving around on their left flank. So leading them there, you can see Star Brigadier Robin. Doesn't he look handsome? And you can see him going around in a definite outflanking manoeuvre. Now, as a result of that, you can see the line is pulling away over here. Now, it's possible these guys may get caught out. They've decided to run for it. And the 30 Garda MV. Colonel Snowfox and friends, as you can see, dodging left and right to try and avoid those musket balls if they possibly can. And there you can see Alex, Lieutenant Major. That looks like such an Xbox name, doesn't it? XX Alex X7657. It's very possibly maybe, but we'll see. Anyway, you can see them at least sort of giving chase here, the Brits. Brigadier Robin. Now the trouble is he doesn't really want to sort of overreach. He overreaches, all of a sudden these guys double back one side, double back the other side, and he's caught in a crossfire, and it's all horrible, and it's all bloody, and it's very, very lots of death. Generally, it's a bad thing for you. And my voice is still screwy at the moment. It was fine It was fine when I was, before I was starting, but I need to cough again. Very strange. So, oh no, we've lost Swoop. Poor Swoop. Now, let's have a look over here, shall we? So, oh, look at this. More support coming in from the 1stRhein. Now, the RGTRA. Moving up to form a larger line and hiding behind a very big rock. Understandable, you know, they want to try and avoid getting shot in the face. It's pretty much a standard tactic for most people. Now, firing back at them are these fellows from the Brits, the 51st pushing up. And also over here, members of the Swiss 5E. Staff Brigadier Robin. And there's Kev, who's in there as well. Oh dear. Oh, they've lost Robin. Oh no. Poor Robin. Snuffed it. There's an El Wolf. There's Kev, of course, and a slave. There's Black. And there's Sergeant Sem of the infantry Van Nassau going in for a cheeky stab, which he gets. Going after an opponent who's trying to kill a sailor, and he kills him for attacking a sailor. Understandable. Keep your sailors to yourself, Sunshine. It could be the last man standing. Not anymore. He is no more. So there are currently 10 ostriches out there somewhere. Ah, hello. This must be the last of the ostriches. Oh my goodness. Invitational tea. He's got one of those things that you do for clearing your wax out of your ears. And he's going to try and clean out a few... Oh, fine. Block, sir. Look at that. Always great to see. And you can see the Brits losing a few people. Down goes Kev. He gets done over by that baby bud. It's going to be funny as hell. And that's exactly what happened. Who's left? It's Ace. From the infantry von Nassau. And it's only Ace. Oh god. He's about to get ripped a new ace hole. And that's exactly what happened. We're on to the next round. Well, we're back on the next round. With some fine fifing being done. And this obviously is the Austrian spawn. So you can see the artillery moving out onto an available hill. Commanding officers. There's Invitational Star. Looking very handsome. Horses, of course. Horses for courses are 1stRhein Tomato. Fine name. The most accurate of all the tomatoes. There's Mike Hawk. Dante, of course. And there's Dreadlets, or Dreadix, I should say. What's going on over here with the horse? Leave that horse's arse alone. That's JP. Dear oh dear. So, there seems to be just sort of a bit of a lull, as always tends to happen in most of these battles, before it all kicks off. Before the real sort of punch-up begins and they get within 100 to 150 feet of each other. Obviously the cannonballs can, as if by magic, one appears. They can tend to interrupt the party. But you kind of get used to that. Especially in this game. So, let's find out as we fly through various trees. Oh, hello, horses. Now, could they be looking... No, they're going to be supporting their teams. There, of course, 1stRhein Tomato and friends. Now, let's see. Aha. There is a line of Brits. And who are these fine fellows looking through the glasses? Not Smirnoff. Fusilier of the 84th. And there's Oberst Raz, who appears to be distracted by something shiny, looking into the fair distance. Now they're supported by the Swiss 18th In as the Baker Riflemen. Their fine bonny hats and all the rest of it. So we'll have to wait and see how it turns out for them. Now it may turn out badly because they could get jumped by a cavalry line, which for these guys could be a serious problem. They'll need to have a line similar to this. Oh, there's MILF. Nearby them to sort of protect them. But they might be moving out to see... Maybe see if they can get some long-range shots onto the Austrians. Difficult to know. There's close... or clock. So maybe he's going into clock block them. Who's to say? Now... the joys of playing on the internet, server performance. I could tell you some stories of that. Well, obviously, for those of you who don't know, I mean, this is a game that's been running for a long time. And technically part of that problem is the fact that the server application tends to cannot utilize multiple cores. If you know anything about servers and cores and processors and all the rest of it. So, it means it's limited to the amount of performance it can give. It is not easily scalable. So, it looks like the cavalry have pounced somewhere. So let's see if we can find the pouncing. Oh goodness me, yes, we found the pouncing. It is the Vistule. And the Brits got well and truly butchered. There's Hades from the APK. So the Polish detachment there got well and truly done over quite significantly now. We're hearing fifing as well, which we approve. So let's see. There's Sultan Army moving everybody out, chasing after the fleeing British from the infantry Van Nassau. And you can see some of them being cut down as they run, shot in the back. This is war, there's no honour in war. And there's second Soldat Willie. Oh dear, see, look at these boys. They're having to dodge left and right because the fire is still coming in from the hill. As they're trying to find a point of cover as quickly as they can. So there you can say Brigadier Robin trying to rebuild the lads, reorganise them. And it looks like the Swiss 84th are getting into a stand-up fight. Let's see if we can find them. What are they up to? There's a punch-up going out there on the battlefield somewhere. Don't tell me they're all dead already. Now you can see here the 1stRhein working closely to protect the artillery section. There's a man with a spyglass. There's Lance Bombardier Wallace. Looking very handsome with the ginger beard. Also working closely with Cadet Kasim. And loading is Mr. Wolf of the RRA. Now, oh dear, we've just lost NL Wolf. Oh dear. So, let's see. We did not manage to find the 84th. I think they may have all been horribly murdered before we managed to get to them. Well, no, Soldat Emperor is still alive, so he's probably all on his lonesome somewhere right now. And we've just lost another 2 members of the 84th. Here we go, here's Emperor. So who is leading the 84th line? It's Raz, he's still alive. Well, that's definitely changing the standard for officer survival in the 84th. If you remember Smollett and his tendency to snuff it at a moment's notice. And a big shout out to Smollett wherever he is. We miss him. Oh goodness me. What's going on here? Some cavalry. Up to some shenanigans. Those fine coats in the background, lovely braiding. Followed by British Dragoons. With those extremely long cavalry swords. And a nice team kill onto Vlad. Oh dear. So as you can see, muskets still as accurate as they ever were in this game. Oh goodness. But it looks like the Brits actually have the range to get who they want, as multiple members of this armed line from the RRA. Who's the fine musician? There we go. Strafnik Vess. Well, precisely. From the RRA. Now they're making their way out, but they got the support of this line here as well. From the RGTRA. And there's Raz. Oh dear, another team kill out there in the field. Now let's see where he's going to be leading his boys. So we can get some idea of what they're doing here. So now they're moving forward. So they're trying to sort of get closer to these skirmishers. Now obviously it's going to be hard for them to attack the skirmishers because the skirmishers can actually spread out their forces, which the line can't. The line has to be sort of shoulder to shoulder type thing. So here is Sergeant Flores, Cortez, Antonio, all from the 1st BDC, and you can see the medic. The doctor is in, Oliveira. Not going to heal many people with a sword. Oh, goodness me. The RRR just lost another couple of fellas. Courtesy of those cannonballs, look at that. Oh dear. And there's a bit of a punch up in the ranks going on. Brilliant. Now, we move down into the valley here. And you can see these guys picking up some muskets so that they can at least fight back. Oh, that was very close. That was very close indeed. So, Private Hat of the RRR. And you can see them dodging, trying to get away from those bullets that they know is coming in their general direction. Now, obviously, they're going to have the support of the skirmishers up here. And it looks like the skirmishers are now forcing some of these Brit forces to pull back. But these guys here are going to have to be careful. There we go. They turn around almost immediately because they can see the skirmishers coming towards them as they were chasing these fellows. Over here, let's see. Rubbing my swamp. Who doesn't enjoy that? And also then supporting them. There is 10 Frankie from the IGTRA, and maybe they'll bring this line in behind the back of them. Oh no, they're going to just cross their tail ends. Let's see. Now you can see them slowly moving towards map edge. So it's going to be difficult to see what they're going to do there. Especially when you've got the cannons bearing down on them. Like that. Now obviously it looks like, yep, there's another cannon there as well pointing in that direction. So it's going to be a bad situation for them, but it looks to be making a run onto the artillery section to try and sort of cut them down. But you've got these guys moving out in support of the artillery section. Let's see. There's Brigadier Robin and the Swiss staff. There's Piet and there's Willie. And a slave. So those guys are trying to sort of cover the flank as well. So as the skirmishers move in, then they can sort of move in behind them and attack. But they don't have the advantage of numbers. There's Dennis. Oh dear. And now it means that these guys are going to try and have to move up to a flank position, which is what you can see them doing. But they may be outnumbered. This could be the last stand here of the infantry Van Nassau for this round. We'll have to wait and see. Oh dear, down goes one man. And they're trying to stop themselves from being pulled apart. Unfortunately, when that happens, that's when it becomes a problem. As we're watching Robin defend himself from the onslaught of many, many Austrians. Those dastardly Austrians, and you can see them now reforming, and there's an A-slave. Oh, fine stabbing going in there here. Look at this. Oh, the infantry Van Nassau doing a great job of defending themselves, and you've also got this fella over here as well, Ace, also in there. Seems to be getting a bit of rifle butt action. Wow, they overcame it. Fantastic. Well played, guys. Lovely stuff indeed. And here, Kira Wolf from the APK. And there's Pikmin from the 1stRhein. So now they all charge. So, really don't know what's causing the voice thing. It's really frustrating for me. Because obviously you can tell the difference between the older videos and the new videos. And the voice sounded fine at the start, it's just kind of dries out. I don't know if it dries out or there's, I don't know what's going on. It's frustrating, which is why you don't hear many casts from me. Oh, here we go. 8 Austrians, 14 Brits. Here are the 8 Austrians all meeting up. Off to the British party. Where could they be? Aha. Here they come. Led by a trio of the Swiss, the 84th. There's Mr. Wolf. There's Kasim. There's Glenn Miller, of course. And how the hell did he survive to the end of a turn? Or round? We shall watch Raz as he goes in and displays his commanding officery melee skills. Going in for an opportunistic stab. His first stab attempt gets blocked. Oh, fine stabbing, sir. He's got to be very careful. As now you can see the members of the Royal Artillery and the Brits have won. And it looks like we're going to be going to a map change. Well, we're out here beside the smoke and loads of pyramids and a nice oasis right in the centre. And poor Hero, while doing engineering work, catches a cannonball in the back. So he literally lasted less than 30 seconds. Poor Hero. Anyway. More cannonballs come whistling over the top. As, obviously, this is a map change. In case you hadn't noticed. I know, we're sharp here, aren't we? There's Count Dooku who's just been killed. And you can see recruit Peter Himmel has picked up the engineering tools and is building the defences for the artillery section. Oh, hello, Captain Miller from the RRA, doing the same on the opposing side. And there's Obermal. And man with his Johnson's baby bud, there's Vlad. And look at that, oh dear. Jan 2003. From the Swiss 84th is no more. And you can see them hiding behind. Oh goodness me, it's a massive punch up. Look at this. It's all going to go badly for these guys. Yep, they're going to have to cheese it. Milf and Cookies in the 51st are currently cheesing it in the opposite direction as quickly as possible. That was very unfortunate for them. They ran round the corner and just ran into most of the Austrian side. A tad unfortunate timing. Now, who's this hiding behind a rock? These fine brave fellows from the 5th. There's Belgian. There's an old name we haven't seen for a while. There's Zatreem. There's Hauptmann Dommy, the melee master himself, and there's Kev as well. And they're all in as Marines, so hello sailors. Now you can see here the cavalry crashing into each other, as the NR3 are basically supporting them as best. Oh, ouch. The infantry Van Nassau significantly lessened by the cannonball, as Arminius from the RGTRA gets taken down, the leader. So these guys staying in a sensible position, making use of the cover that is available to them, as Joseric Garcia makes his way up to see if he can find the forces now hiding round the corner. Hello. There is Bombardier Gabriel from the 1stRhein. Now look at this. The 51st. MILF now deciding to engage them from a little bit further away this time. And you can see them at least making use of the available cover. Obviously, some people have made better use of it than others. But I don't notice that many reinforcements coming in behind them. Oh dear, looks like we've had a bit of shooting at the orifice. The orifice aiming. The Ruperts have been murdered. Now let's see. Okay. Oh, hello, it's a bunch of Scotsmen. There. Captain Zorialex. Andresso, Enrique, Morant, and Leo. All of the 1stRhein. What are they up to? Looking for a target. Waiting for the enemy as the infantry von Nassau are getting into a little bit of a punch up here in between the pyramids. There's Brigadier Robin, and with his sabre out, his officer's sword. Oh, fine stab at the enemy there. Saving his commanding officer, who is still in a large amount of poo right now. Mainly sort of 17-inch spiky poo, is what's on the end of that bad bayonet, on the end of that musket, I should say. See, now they're forcing him to push back. He's got to be careful. He has support behind him, but he doesn't have a huge amount. And even what? I thought he was going to get out the spyglass and spy them to death. But no. Robin is now chasing down his quarry. Look at this. The determined charge of an officer. Unhappy that his team has been murdered. Can he get to them in time? Oh, look at that. Ah, indeed. This could be unfortunate, as the rest of him leave him behind. Yeah, okay, now's the time to turn and run, Robin. Now's the time to turn and run. Look at this, it's Robin versus the world. I wonder how it's going to go. Oh, they're all backing off, they're scared of him. Oh, and there we go, it's ended. With some hot officer-on-officer action. Oh dear. Poor Robin. Murdered horribly. So, here you can see what remains of his line that refused to follow him. Oh dear. Peekaboo. They've decided to back off now and make their way between these two areas. So, let's see, who's in as the officer here? It's MILF, the colonel of the 51st, and let's see, what's on the other side? Is there anybody? See, there are some guys who are now fleeing in the opposite direction over to the cavalry, over to the other infantry over there, so they can get a little bit more support. Now, we do have a section of men coming around the side here. So, there we go. RGE, and also, there of course, the GD, the 1stRhein. Oh dear, they've lost a man. Alberto AM has been felled, and so has Captain Redbutt. Shot in the butt, no doubt. So, look at this. Now we're seeing forces sort of change position, try and go round and reinforce. Ah, hello. Staff Division French monk. Our old friend. And still alive for some reason. Not sure how this has happened. But he's leaving the boys away from the area of the pyramids, maybe to sort of double around. Get in a sneaky end around on the enemy. Oh, this is going to be unfortunate for Ace if he gets in the way of that. So it looks like they're engaging. The combination of them, the lights, and the Austrian line here from the Rhine, the 1stRhein. There's Barriessus. from the 1st BDC. And they're looking in the wrong direction. They want to be looking behind them. And you can see here, there's Recruit Vidal from the 1st BDC. And they are managing to cut some of these people down. But it looks like they have decided to back off slightly. So you can see the GD, and there's Halfman Donny. Oh, there we go, it's all going to kick off. Yep, it's all going to kick off now, boys and girls. As it looks like the Swiss, we lost French Monk. French Monk is dead. Sorry, French. They got murdered by superior numbers. Oh dear, what's going on here? It's Belgian. Belgian coming in for a bit of stab and grab. Might be a bit rusty, but the skills are still there. Going in for an opportunistic stab. Oh, fine, block by Belgian. Here's the 2-on-1 now. Oh, fine kill. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Dodged in between the two bayonets coming at him. And down goes Belgian as he's stabbed in the bottom. Couldn't hold them off forever, but definitely a good battle there for him. And here is Shimano of the VGC. And we also see up here Ace from the infantry Van Nassau. Oh dear, what's going on here? So you can see the GD wiping out what remains of the enemy now. 9 Austrians versus 14 United Kingdom. And it's distinctly possible this is the 9 Austrians. Actually, it looks like about 8 there. Ah, there we go, there's 9th. JP coming in from Kingdom. And it's about to all kick off now. You can see these guys jostling for a good position, trying to get an opportunistic stab in if they possibly can. Down goes JP. In comes some reinforcements from the Brits as well. Is that an officer? It is, it's MILF. MILF with some fine stab work coming in from MILF. And there we have it. The Austrians have been finished off with fine murdering by MILF and Cookies from the 51st and his associated friends. So we're back on the final round following Monsieur French Monk and the members of the Swiss Brigade into battle. And oh, hello folks, 17 from the AR6, complete with support from Trooper Cactus. And oh my goodness, Del Hands. There's Oberstleutnant Fury, I nearly said something else. Prometheus as well. Too horny, oh dear. What's this random horse doing here with a person on it? There's Fiji. Also from the NR6, parked round the back of this massive pyramid. So, round the back of this massive pyramid also comes the British line. Led, as you can see, Brigadier Robin. And there you can see the Swiss 5E. Those merry bunch of sailors. Led by the chief sailor, French Monk. Supported on the left side by the infantry Van Nassau. And also the 84th under the command of Raz. Fine kill by Mr. Wolf there into 2 members of the APK. So this is going to be quite a significant force to deal with for the enemy. So whether or not they can get it into the right position. So you can see their Staff Brigade Robin looking for the enemy. Now you can see obviously up here on the far side, or in the centre of the screen, you can see a large amount of enemy now. That looks to be the cavalry charging onto the artillery. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Now you can see here the Royal Artillery fellows from the RKR looking for targets within the oasis. As you can see, that's the general direction they're pointing. As murderization is Vegas, shooing Vegas from the APK. And they're just trying to get in there and get some murders. Oh, down he goes. Horses on the floor. And murdered as soon as he tries to even stand up. So, the Royal Artillery continue their reloading under the command and watchful eye of Harold So. Oh, here's the engineer. It saves, or Sabs again, from the first Reddit. Fine stuff. So let's see. Oh dear. We've just lost Milf and Cookies. Definite officer aim there. It's Soldat Emperor. Follows behind his commanding officer, Raz. Look at this. Poor Milf. Milf is no more. Never mind. Listen to that rattling as the cannonballs staccato up here down the side of the hill and straight into this, whatever the hell this is. Oh, look at that, they've even stamped their ownership on this place. Oh, I wonder if we can go in here. I'll be disappointed if it's not a proper, it's not, oh, it is a proper entrance. Look at this. Somebody's been going mad. Mad with the map making. Look at this. And into a fine cavern. But that's about it. This must be the burial chamber. I guess didn't have much time to do much more building than that. But it's good to see this actually being built like a proper pyramid should be. Which also now means on the aim of to satisfy my personal curiosity, we've got to check the others. Now, the question is it a different design or is it a simple copy and paste? Well, so far, it's looking copy and pasty. Which I can understand. Oh, no, there's 2 boards. There we go. Look at that. Hurrah for variety. Anyway, we've done our archaeological dig. Let's move out and see what's going on with the battle. There's Theodora. There's Strafnik Vess from the RRR. Look at that, a face only a mother could love. And here is Colonel Sultanami. Disciplining the lads. Oh, that's what happens. That's what happens when you discipline. Oh dear. I don't think that was a discipline he had in mind. But never mind. Wonderful timing. Can't beat gaming timing. Gotta love it. Cracker Smacker. What a fine name. Oh no. Dommy's just been shot in the head. That's never good. Especially for Dommy. But we'll see how it turns out for them. So. Look at this. A man with a large pole. Being surrounded by... oh dear. A commanding officer with a large sword. And there's Milf. So he looks to have picked up one of the cavalry sabres. Which seems to be obviously better than his officer's sabre. Oh, fine block there by Milf. Oh, fine slice by Milf into the back of his enemy. Finishes him off. And the Royal Artillery can continue unmolested. As there's Mr. Wolf of the RRA looking for a target. Seems to be having a few aiming issues there, but never mind, we'll see. And here you can see there's Vlad looking for another potential target. There is, of course, the RRR. There's the Colonel looking for an opportunity to move his troops closer to the enemy. And they've just lost another one, poor lads. As you can see, the fine dragoons here from the British forces, supported by more dragoons and a flag carrier, Shimano. Oh, look at that, barged to the floor and murdered horribly. Just brutal. Now, 29 and 40, so I think it's fair to say that the Brits definitely have the advantage in numbers. Oh dear, this may not look good for Emmy. Barged to the floor, trampled by horses, and sliced across the back of the neck. That was unfortunately somewhat predictable for them, as they got jumped by dragoons and a line at the same time. And they were, of course, the skirmishers, so they didn't really stand much of a chance. Oh, that's brutal. Look at this. This blob of force here. Combination of line and cavalry. Very nasty indeed. So, 18 ostriches still remain out in the field. Aha, hello boys. The 1stRhein currently in the building. It's a little bit of urban combat. And we've got, here we go, the first BDC. And there's Blee from the 1stRhein as well. In their supporting teammates. Oh, if they've fallen through that, I would have laughed, I'm sorry. Now, can't get back up? No, can. This is going to be a problem. Okay, we'll see. Anyway. Atop the buildings. Oh, look at that. Lovely stuff. Nice shooting coming in from the lads as Dennis holds the first BDC up here. In a defensive position, as they know they're going to need to. Supported on one side by the 1stRhein. I wonder what is going to happen. 1stRhein making his way around. You can see the church. Oh, it might be a more. Oh! Fine team kill and lovely volley coming in. And you can see a lot. Yeah, it might be a mosque because it's a circular roof, I'm not sure. But then this sort of arching is very sort of Christian in its formation. So I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, some churches do have big circular roofs, but that is very mosque-like in its design. Aha! They have come knocking at the door. Here they come. Belgian monk charging in. Into the battle on the side of the building. Fine stab. And he's failed. Poor Belgian monk goes down. So does French as well. Oh dear. The first medic trying to get in there as well. This is horrible. There's Cammy going in from the 484th. And a little bit of team killing onto Emperor. It looks like the Austrians may actually have this. We'll have to wait and see. There's Sebas, veteran of the infantry Van Nassau. Oh, look at this. They managed to... There they go. Oh, down he goes. Cammy. And the last man standing. Raz survived. How is that even possible? Clearly, this is not reality. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Is Raz going to try and make it across? Is he going to make the jump? Is somebody going to shoot him out of the sky? Somebody makes the jump. Oh, look at that. Raz going in for a cheeky shot. Is he? No, he's not going to go for the jump. He wants to stay in the safe position and command from afar. All charge. What do you mean all charge? There's 5 Brits left. And they're probably, most of them are on top of this building. Oh, there's some more down there. So Raz is being a gentleman, is coming downstairs. Get off the building, you fools. See, he'll let them come down. So let's see. Here they come. Some of them are jumping down. Going round the side. The Snoop, Andre, and Gabriel. And it's a 4v3. Down goes Raz. Oh dear. And Mr. Wolf as well. Oh wow. That didn't go well for the Brits. How many Brits are left? 1. Where is he? I'm guessing this is him. It is. So, time for to see if he goes clutch. Look at this. Can Vlad be the impaler that this country needs? Oh, fine first stab there. Oh, he's been hit once. He's been hit again. And sadly, he was the one to be impaled with an unfortunate 17-incher, but never mind. Anyway, my thanks to the 1stRhein and to all the regiments that attended this event. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this Napoleonic Wars event. We shall see you for more. Take care.